So I managed to find a nearly 60-year-old toy knitting machine and I just could not help myself. I really want to try this out and see how it works. Does it still knit? Do I have all the parts? Has someone else previously used this? I have no idea, but I think it'd be really fun to try this out and see if I can manage to knit an adult-sized sweater on a 60-year-old kid's toy. Why don't we go unpack it and see what we have to work with and if this is even remotely feasible. Let me see what all comes in this lovely box. So, looks like we've got some like stencils. We've got a lot of yarn and some parts. This kind of looks like the carriage to me. This looks like the needle bed that we gotta unpack, and instructions. I always appreciate having the instructions, that's for sure. Let's unpack all of these parts. These look like they're the same needles as my bulky knitting bed that I have over there that has a project on it that's over a year old. It is a 28 needle bed, which is very cute. These are some more pieces that we need. First, place machine on edge of table. I might need to find a different table for this. Move needles all the way forward. Is there a clamp? I don't think there's a clamp. Is there? No. Slide carriage onto knitter track. Okay, so this is the carriage. Oop, whoops. I feel like that wasn't supposed to fall off. Okay, we're on the track. Slide carriage slowly to the left and stop. Okay. Wow, that slides beautifully. That actually works really well. Okay, open all latch needles. Okay, on mine, I don't have to do this. So this is a very detailed work where you have to open every single individual latch. I'm gonna guess this is for the casting on. Casting on is always kind of a tricky thing, but this is kind of like the feeding tensioner, this lovely bendy piece. I'm just thankful that it seems like the pieces are here, you know? Unsnap yarn retainer on starter comb. Wow, this even has like a cast on comb. Most of my machines did not come with cast on combs. Swing out hangers. Oh, it's on this. It's got little hangy thingies. Do we hang it before or behind? No, we hang it behind. Ooh, there's some rust on this somewhere. My fingers are getting rusty. So we're gonna put this on there. And now we thread it through there. Ooh, this one is not cooperating. There we go. Please don't. Oh, ow, oh God. Whoops. I'm a little clumsy. Okay, let's get everything back to where it's supposed to be. Oh no, oh, I lost it. Okay, that's okay. Lovely. Okay. Okay. Whew. So we'll just move it to the left, and these will be our first stitches. Oh, I think this got caught around on some stuff, so not every stitch caught like it was supposed to. You are now ready to knit. The machine will knit a row every time you move the carriage back and forth from one carriage stop to the other. Oh, why is this so tight? Okay. I wonder if this is what the rod is for, because I'm pulling a little bit on the little starty thingy in order to get it to form the stitches, because that's what the weights would usually do. But I think this little rod fits in the back of that really nicely and would pull it down for the stitches to form well. We have our first bit of fabric on this knitting machine, and it is like, I don't want to jinx anything, but this is so smooth. I'm like holding my breath for something to go wrong because I'm so used to something going wrong on these, but this is actually really nice. Dare I say it? My only question is, when you cast on with a cast on comb like this, those are open stitches. So if I take the cast on comb off after this piece is done and I don't do anything to that open end, it will unravel from the bottom up. So I wonder if in this instruction booklet they say anything about what to do about that. Oh, interesting. They just have you run the loose end that you left when you were starting the knitting all the way through. They have instructions for a hung hem. They have instructions for shaping panels. Like, this is fully fashioned stuff. That's not easy elementary stuff, you know? And then they have instructions on how to make all these different pieces. A dog sweater, doll coat mittens, and a slip over sleeveless sweater. I kind of want to make this. and I'm wondering if it's gonna be big enough for me. So I just kind of want to take this off to have a guess at gauge. It'll be kind of like a mesh sweater, a little see-through, but just holding it up to myself, you know, I think that this is about half of my torso. Like, I think that could fit. Okay, so the sleeveless sweater does use all 28 needles. So I'm wondering if I could follow exactly those instructions. I might have to make it a little bit longer though, because I do have a longer torso. I've decided that I'm going to make the sleeveless top in the largest size that they have listed and hope that it fits. But I will make a gauge swatch because I think that there is a chance it'll fit me width-wise, but I'm probably going to have to make it longer. I tend to have to make a lot of things longer. I have a long torso. I'm 5'9" and I have a long torso, so that always ends up happening. The yarn, by the way, so this is already pre-spooled from the previous person who had this, and I'm going to be using the yarn that came with this, which is a Orchard Nylon Wool 50/50. 50% nylon for extra wear, 50% wool for extra warmth. 34 cents. I wish yarn still costs 34 cents for 1 ounce. That would be incredible. The only thing about this is that we don't have a row counter, and I heavily rely on, oh, that keeps falling down. That is like the 5th time that's happened. I heavily rely, oops, that's still not, okay. I'm struggling a bit. Here we go. I heavily rely on row counters, so I'm just gonna have to keep myself as honest as I can. Oop, we dropped 2 stitches on the end. Oh no. Oh no, no. Let's save those. I feel like if I were a child doing this, I wouldn't know those little tricks, and there is a little bit of guidance in the book for those trickier situations, but I don't think it covers them all fully. So this is definitely not, like, it helps to have some previous knitting machine knowledge, you know what I mean? Okay, the whole panel's done. I'm gonna very carefully knit this off as it just clunks to the ground. Smooth. Here is the piece with the clamp on the bottom. I haven't finished either end, so I'm wondering if instead of 2 panels, I just do 3. So I have 1, 2, 3 panels across the front. I think the last thing that we have to ask is how long to make it. Because I'm planning on making it all one color, it might be a little bit of a plain top. What if I make it like 2 color, like the yoke to here is a 1 color and from here down it's a different one? That could be fun. But I need to figure out how long to make it. So let me get a measuring tape. What if I say 7 rows per inch? And that way I'm erring on the side of caution. What's 7 times 18? That's 126. The original pattern calls for 80 rows and 60 rows with a bottom folded overhand of 10. And that's actually 150 rows. So the original pattern is longer than my calculation. I just might follow it, to be honest. See what that makes. So I'll see you when these 3 spools are full with yarn, and we are going to actually cast on and do a folded hem or a hung hem on this, which we've done before in other knitting machines. I just think it's so cool that it's even something that is suggested in a children's toy. Like, that's not really a beginner technique in knitting machines, in my opinion. So I'm excited to do that. I'll see you in a second. 6, 7. Oh, yeah, that's an issue. That end tension is an issue. And we lost this again. Oh, how many times has this fallen off now? Okay, so I think that's 20 rows. And now we're going to do a hung hem. And we're going to use our little arms as help again. And now we have to transfer all the stitches from the cast on edge at the bottom to the needles. Okay, so we're going to transfer each one of these loops to a matching needle on this side. So, like that. We have a folded hem, almost a drop stitch on this end though. So let's get that one back on the needle. Whoop. Holy moly. Okay, but we're focusing on this one. Oh, no, 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 no. We do not want that. That's gonna be an issue. Oh no, I need one loop in the latch and one behind it. So right now I pushed both loops behind the latch, and I'm supposed to have one in the latch and one behind. Because what's gonna happen is when the carriage starts moving, this latch is gonna move backwards and close, and all that's gonna happen is both are gonna slip off, versus if the front one is in the latch. So let me see if I can move it there to show you what will happen instead. Because then when the carriage moves, what'll happen is it'll close on that and nothing's gonna fall off. So, oops, I should have done that better from the start, but I didn't. So now we have to do the rest of the 27 and move this front one on the other side of the latch all the way across. And in a lot of cases, and in a lot of senses, you know, machine knitting is faster than hand knitting, and it's less tiring in some ways on my hands, but there's different rules and there's different techniques and there's different things you have to think about. So it is a completely different skill set, and sometimes it is definitely not faster. I think I fixed it all the way across. This is going to be row 1 after the hung hem. It worked! It worked! We have a hung hem! We have a hung hem on a toy knitting machine. I am beyond pleased. This is so exciting. Okay, so that was row 1. 79 to go. Wish me luck in counting. As I'm casting off this piece from the front, I decided to hold it up for length, and I realized that with the 150 rows in the original pattern for the child sweater, it's actually way too long for me, so I re-knit the pieces in the original gauge calculation that I had done before with the about 120 rows instead. So I have managed to finish 4 panels, and, well, 5, because the first one wasn't exactly the right size that we were looking for. My original plan was to make 3 panels for the front, 3 panels for the back, kind of to make it like the kid's sweater and then size it up for me. But the plastic pieces and the metal pieces, the more that I'm using this knitting toy, the more that everything's getting like looser, and it's basically falling apart every other row that I'm trying to knit it. And no matter how I try to anchor things in place, something else then falls off. What I've decided to do is I'm going to sew together the child size sweater, and the idea is that you sew 2 panels together in the front, 2 panels together in the back, then you fold over for the neckline, and then you sew for the armholes. If you hear a dog in the background, I'm currently dog sitting, and she has been loving going outside. She's fully taken care of, I promise. She wishes she could spend all day outside, and she hears me talking to you, so she's trying to get her own word in to let me know that she would like to be outside. But she's fine, I promise. So I was thinking about sewing it all together except for the one side. So I'd have the shoulders together and one side together, and then I could and the neckline folded down, and then I could stretch it and see if there's any hope of that maybe kind of fitting me. Cross your fingers for me that this is really nice and stretchy. All right, let's sew it together. All right, so I am wearing a sports bra, just so you know. I sewed the 2 panels together in the front and the 2 panels together in the back, one side and one shoulder. When I pull it across, that kind of works. Will it stretch? Definitely becomes quite the crop, but it might stretch. I'm gonna sew this side shut to match this side. I might always have to wear this with like a sports bra underneath it, but let me finish sewing all this up, and then we'll do the final reveal of making an adult-ish sweater from a kid's toy. This is technically the kid's size, but we're squeezing into it, so let's see you at the reveal. So after a bit of knitting? I guess the answer is yes, you can make an adult size sweater from a kid's toy from the 60s. It's, yeah, an extra panel on each side wouldn't have been the worst thing. You know, it's kind of a fun summer top if that's something that I would want to wear. I don't mind the shape of it actually for a summer top. I just would prefer not to have a seam down the center front and center back, but I think it is really cool to kind of have this as a demonstration of how much you can truly do with just these toy knitting machines and how much more I can probably do with my actual almost production level knitting machines in the background here. I think it was super fun to try out this tool and toy. At the end it got a little, frustrating is too hard of a word. I think it was just unfortunate because of how loose things were getting and I didn't want to put it through too much more stress. So I kind of had to cut it short, but I think we did see how well this works and how cool this is. And yeah, can you tell I love knitting machines. So this was super fun for me. And before I forget, I didn't weave any of the ends in, so if you saw some of the ends kind of hanging loose, because I'm gonna be honest, I'm not sure that I'm going to wear this top. I am glad that I was able to make it, and I'm glad that I got it done, but it's probably gonna live with a knitting machine until I decide what to do with that toy in the future. If you enjoyed watching a video like this, then there is a playlist here with other knitting and crafting toys that I have tried out that you might enjoy, and feel free to stick around because I have a lot of other fun projects that are coming with mending and knitting and knitting machines, so feel free to stick around if you would enjoy that. Thank you so much for spending some of your precious time with me, and I hope to see you again really soon.